Brought to you by...
Well, friends, here we are. We've made it to the armpit of this franchise, where the studios all but gave up on making anything decent and decided to branch the franchise out onto avenues of the horror genre that it should have never gone. Today, we are talking about Halloween Resurrection. The original House of Horrors, the dilapidated home of infamous serial killer Michael Myers, has now become the set of a webcam reality show. But when the veteran slasher discovers that a group of university students has taken over his old killing grounds, he decides it's time to bring the Blades out of retirement. Me running, friends. I don't even know where to start with this fest. Jamie Lee Curtis returns one more time, basically only because she was under contract to appear in this film. However, she demanded that they kill her off, so she did not have to endure the ill fate that the studios seemed adamant on driving this series toward. So the film opens up and we have Laurie institutionalized, and it is revealed to us that Michael pulled the old switcheroo on her in the last film, crushing the larynx of an EMT and swapping clothes with him, causing Laurie to decapitate the wrong person, and making that incredibly cinematic finale ultimately worthless. Michael tracks her down and kills her in honestly the least impressive way possible at this point, which I have to say that Laurie never would have been stupid enough after all those years to get that close to him and allow herself to be killed in such a stupid manner. Thank you for shitting on that character. We also get by far the worst opening credit sequence in the entire franchise, and an unnecessary amount of slow motion shots for no reason whatsoever. Almost every other shot throughout this intro is slowed down, in either an attempt to build the suspense or pad the runtime a bit. Michael's mask has been crafted a little better this time, though the hair in at least the opening moments seems to be a bit too close to an afro for me. Then, before leaving the hospital, for some reason, Michael stops off to visit another patient so that he can frame him for Laurie's murder, handing over his knife to him as if passing the torch. Tell me something. After all these years of slaughtering teens, why the Michael would worry about taking the blame, especially on his most prized kill? He's been working at this for over 20 years. But I digress. Alongside a group of mostly forgettable talents, we have an early role from Katie Sackhoff in this one, portraying possibly the most annoying character of the bunch, as well as an all-prominent role for Busta Rhymes, who is coattailed by Tyra Banks. For some reason, it's incredibly important that Busta Rhymes' character be a fan of Kung Fu cinema, which later makes him feel that he can use these moves that he's picked up from watching the film and take them out on Michael. And the worst part is, it actually f***ing works. I can't say that I've ever expected to see Michael Myers get roundhouse kicked out of a window. Another thing that no one asked for was to see Busta Rhymes dressed up as Michael Myers, yelling at Michael Myers. I mean, I won't lie, it was hilarious to witness, but it was possibly the stupidest moment in the entire film, which is saying something. On top of it all, most of his dialogue felt almost entirely improvised, as if they allowed him to use the script as a guideline and just told him, play yourself. This film's aim was to clearly drag the franchise into the digital age, whether we wanted it or not, playing off the popularity of the Blair Witch Project and the start of the found footage concept. This film intercuts your standard cinematic footage with surveillance cameras and head-mounted cameras, attempting to place us into the action a bit and lure in fans of these types of films. As with most found footage films, much of this footage is broken up by camera glitches and static, in which the filmmakers chose to splice frames of Michael's face, which makes no sense to the film in any way, and isn't done subtly in the least bit. For the longest time in the film, Michael doesn't even attempt to kill anyone. Instead, he chooses to creep around, voyeuristically peeking on the teens as they wander about the rooms of his childhood home. None of the characters throughout this film are in any way relatable, and they all continuously make stupid decisions. They get naked when they all know that they're on camera and being broadcast across the internet. There's an attempt to make us believe that Michael has been living in tunnels beneath the house for the entire time. I'm sorry, but I have a hard time believing that he ventured back to a base camp every so often to rest up. Not to mention, the concept kind of hurts his whole personification of evil thing. This film is heavily riddled with continuity errors from start to finish, objects being placed in one shot, then move the next time we see it. The worst being a shot where we cut to Deckard and a group of kids watching the show, and a loud noise hits. The very distinct looking kid next to him tells him to turn it down. Then, the very next time we come back to Deckard, that kid enters the room for what is clearly supposed to be the first time and asked what they are watching. Jesus Christ, buddy! I will give the film this. They did a pretty incredible job with recreating the Myers house and aging it up. It gave us a chance to see more of the rooms and get a greater sense than we could in Carpenter's original. The climax of this one sees Michael hung, electrocuted, and once again burned, thanks to some quick bow staff moves from Busta, followed by a charged electrical cable to the balls. In no way taking the film seriously in any sense of the word. Overall, this is a terrible film. I'm not even going to try to defend it. It's bland, pale, and emotionless to its very core. It has rewatch value if you just want something to bust on, every pun intended. I'm giving Halloween Resurrection a D-. This is not one I recommend unless you are hell-bent on seeing every Halloween film. It would give me great pleasure to hear everyone's thoughts on this one down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please feel free to let me know. It's just a quick scroll down there to that comment section below. If you're enjoying the channel more than words can describe, shoot me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. If you would like to show your support even more, come find ETF on Patreon or Tippy, where every pledge and every tip brings you rewards galore. Not to mention allowing me to bring you more films to explore. But all jokes and rhymes aside, if you have any films that you would like me to check out, or that you might like to see reviewed on this channel, feel free to reach out to me here down in the comments, or over on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.